All right, so we had a technical difficulty, but we back. I was trying to talk about my big rims I got over here, my big wheels, sitting over here, sitting on 20s. Just sitting on 20s, nah. But it's nice, it's dope, man. I invested in this bike, and that's like, I really wanted to do something with it, and it's becoming my what's the word? It's my business on wheels. There we go. If you remember the last video when I said business in a box, this is my business on wheels. Dang it, like it's holding. It's like my cameraman. It's like it's my transportation. It's fly. It's very fly, and it's getting me where I need to go or whatever. So, and I'm just chill. Like, that's wild. Like, I'm really chill right now. And then, like, I dreamed of doing this, and I'm doing it. So that's what we doing, man. Like, oh, I got my wheels and all stuff like that. And that's why I want to feature this baby right here in my video, because we've been through some things. And lo and behold, I got a slime tube in the back wheel, because my other grandma's back. Oh my goodness, y'all, that's a ladybug. Don't get oh, what you doing? That's another sign, because when I was in the other location, the same thing happened. Calling my grandma, because my grandma used to have a lot of ladybugs in her old place and things like that, and she's no longer with me. So every time I see a ladybug, oh, that's my grandma's spirit and things like that. So I was like, man, she came to visit me, see what I'm doing. She came because she know I was really quiet, very quiet to myself. But oh my goodness, that just really warmed my heart. But anyway, I got a slime tube in the back tire, and it's supposed to last me for years, and hopefully it does. And my uncles helped me get everything sorted, and I was able to put the wheel and everything back on there, all little mechanic or whatnot, out there getting my hands dirty, getting my elbow grease and all that other stuff. And I was like, man, it's crazy how all this is unfolding, because I'm really enjoying this. But like I said, with wick, like that light on that candlestick, like I like the type of flow, like back in the day flow. I'm not really into the talking over beats and things like that, unless it's, unless it got some kind of rhythm or flow to it or whatever. I like to change it up. I like things to be different. I'm trying to look back, see if there's anything else. Oh man, I don't know about that one. It's a little bit, that's woo. That's a little grown for some people. Can't do that one. But yeah, we'll get to some of these. Some of these are kind of personal, that I kind of keep to myself. But all these songs and stuff are going to come with Love Songs Diary, more of the sensitive side of me. As I know people are like intimidated by me because I don't never smile, but the truth is I smile. I've been called out on smiling too much, make me look too overly happy and stuff. And my nickname was Smiley back in college. Somebody used to call me Smiley all the time. So it's no way you could be that happy. But the truth is, I really loved school. Like, I liked to go to school and learn new things. Only thing I didn't like about school was the people, and that's where haters came from. Because the people would make my school days miserable, pick on me and all the other stuff. So, because I was different, I wore my clothes different. I improvised my clothes on a budget and things like that. And I wore things, see, I got this right here. It's not worn like this. It's tucked in, just a little flavor and all the other stuff. Mind you, I got these, you know what I'm saying? I got these on as like a mini studio, but they construction earphones. But they cool. Hopefully you'll hear me and you're not hearing a lot of wind blowing around, and I have a lot of clarity in my voice, which I lost my voice yesterday from talking. So I'm flipping through this book because I'm trying to multitask, and this is what I do. Maybe I'll warm up and I will start, but right now I'm just talking. My plan was to be in a nice acoustic area, but they keep locking the bathroom at the park. So I was like, come on, bro, come on, y'all. Last time I had went there on my walk around, and I said, ooh, I got that hill. I got a splash of water on me, and it was open. Why it ain't open now, man? Come on. I want to be able to go in there and just like, let it out. My music and stuff like that. It's not gonna be music. It's just gonna be acapella or whatever. Like I said, not a singer. Lost my voice a little bit. I kind of cracked my voice when I rap, but at the same time, cracked my voice when I rap. It's not easy because I've always been known to be very soft-spoken. Speak up, speak up. And my uncle, he taught me that. He taught me to, you can't be going up there. You can't be going up there with my voice sound like a mouse. You gotta have a lion's voice, And I shocked him because then I had a dragon, like a dragon, like just, you know what I'm saying? It was big, it was grand, and it shocked me and everything. So I just, I don't want to go into that because I want my uncle to be here and we'll talk together about everything with that, so we can go through the motions and discuss like this is how it happened, because I want, because it's going to happen. Like I want to have my uncle here with me. Uncle Nando created me, now I'm made. You could never spill a bottle of bleach and make my rhymes fade. And when I said that, I was just being silly, y'all. I was just being silly. You put bleach on your clothes and it fade. That's it. It ain't nothing to it. It's just also saying that you can't stop it. Like, it's something that I had. It was like my superpowers, because it got me up through a lot of mess in school and relationships. It just got me through a lot of mess when I needed it, And that's where all this comes from. All of these songs come from. And actually, now to think about it, with the flow and describable lyrics so intangible, I added that to Lime Chillin' because this was called Basic Flow, Basic Flow or whatever, and I was coming up with that there. And I wanted to make sure that when I talked about myself in the third person, the Mrs. Lime Dime, I said Mrs. because it's kind of like Missy Elliott, Mrs. that, but it's like addressing me as not a queen or nothing like that, but it's addressing me as a business person. The Mrs. Lime Dime, you should have never disrespected me. But it's like, that's where that comes. Should have never disrespected. So that's kind of like coming from how when I was bullied a lot and stuff like that. Now me coming at Mrs. Lime Dime, she at your neck. Not like that, because I don't really like to do rap battles. The first rap battle I did as when I was Wick was here, and that rap battle man, like, not only did it humiliate the guy, but I'm not laughing about that. It's just like, that was the first time I actually started to recite my poetry, because I can't freestyle. That's not me. I want to learn that craft of freestyling, but I rather write my music, because then I can go in and I can find the flows and melodies and things like that, versus me trying to get the flows and melodies and rap. That's hard. Being a freestyle is hard. But the guy, I ended up teaching him I literally brought the legacy back, because my uncle taught me how to make bars and how to craft a song and how to do flows, and that's basically what I taught him. I was teaching him how to do different rap flows and how to set up your bars and things like that. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And it wasn't even no what's the word? It wasn't no smoke, because I was literally like talking about school stuff, but it wasn't it wasn't like, you know, how you got Eminem and things like that. How, you know, he would literally like just rip somebody's head off with his lyrics and his flow and delivery and all of that. It was very simple talking, but the flow is what got it. And I keep try to remember it because I really wanted to have the book with me because it's been a long time. And I did it in a whisper, like a whisper way to train myself, and, you know, just to have some type of content where I'm showing you like, okay, this is Wick, and I wanted to do a whisper like a whisper version of that rap battle, and that was it. But the hard part about it was doing it with the sound effects, because eventually, I mean, the song back in the day was really fast, and I don't think I got it like that no more. My brain was really sharp, but now I got so much going on in my head while I'm trying to talk about this. Like, I'm thinking about, oh, it's gonna rain on me and my papers get wet. Like, I'm thinking about too much right now. But it was like, walk up in the class when I'm looking at a toe. When I sat up at my desk, I ain't even spoke to nobody, cause I'm about to choke. Spit these words all over these folks. I don't give a if you hating on my skills. I'ma keep the word flowing and make them chill like sickles in that place. Still burnt the air with the hot skills. I'm on fire like a candle. Wick is the name and I'm keeping it. People give me feedback, eating quick. Lots of fried chicken and some fish sticks. I stay Christian like a bowl of tricks. And if you still hate, snap out of it. For I fit your stuff, rock with it. Beat you down to the ground and drop with it. So it's like that, but it was like sly, because nobody really knew that I did it. And they was like, what? Walk up in the class and they looking at my toe. What? Walk up in the class and looking at my toe. When I sat up at my desk, I ain't even spoke to nobody, cause I'm about to choke. Spit these words all over these folks. I don't give a if you hate no skills. I'm gonna keep the word flowing and make chill like sickles and if still burn to hell with your hot skills. I'm on fire like a candle wick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could do it, but right now, like, I gotta be in my book, because I'm past Wick. I'm past her, because I literally was writing about school. And I'm gonna break it down so you know what I'm saying. Walk up in the class and they looking head from toe. When I sat up at my desk, I ain't even spoke to nobody, cause I'm about to choke and spit these words all over these folks. And that's me my whole life. When I go into class, I'm worried about my school. Like, I want to learn about plants and animals and all this other stuff. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, y'all been to the park and did this and you talked about this person. I'm not with it. I wanted to get my education. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by walk up in the class and they looking at my toe. Now, when they looking at my toe, people really didn't vibe with me like that when I was growing up, because I was different, you know. I was a chocolate girl, and I had glasses and braids and like, I was like, I didn't look like how I appeared, because I had all of this, but I was very studious, if you will. I was like talking. I didn't have no ghetto. I didn't have no ghetto slang, nothing like that. I wasn't like, you know, I was very. It's hard to explain. I was a nerd. I was a chocolate nerd. There we go. I was a chocolate nerd, and since I wasn't like hip and all the other stuff, nobody really wanted to talk to me because I wasn't talking about nothing. And stuff I was talking about was, did you do your test the other day? Did you study the other night? Nobody want to hear that. They want to hear you, be a certain way. They want to see you like, oh, you go to the club, you go get, you go drink, you go do this. And it's school, but people were like that. They don't like to vibe with people that they don't understand. So that was me. I don't have a ghetto bone in my body, but sometimes it come out. When Miss Slime Dime, like, it come out of nowhere. Like, what you doing, fool? Like, get out the way, fool. Get out the way. Like, sometimes it be like that. When I be playing the game, sometimes I get like, get agitated. I be like, come on, man, get out the way. Like, literally on the game, not real life, But that's how I take on those characters and things like that. Cause I'm like, oh, sometimes it come out now. Sometimes it come out. So, walk up in the class and look at it. So when I sat at my desk, I ain't even spoke to nobody because I'm about to choke. It's hard for me to speak sometimes. Like, when I start talking about something passionate, And I don't know if you've seen my vlog, Dime Being Dime podcast with my dad, but we do the same. We do the same thing. When we talk about something passionate, we freeze up. We're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You gotta. And then, you know, what's the name of that? And that's how it is. So I choke a little bit, and I ain't spoke because I'm about to choke. And I flipped it to say I'm a choke because the way I envision, there I go doing it again. The way I envision, like, you know, being an artist or like a rapper or stuff like that, kind of hidden rapper, like, y'all think I'm this, but you know, I like to rap, and then once y'all see it, then like, oh man, like, yeah, she do rap. Spitting was the word back then. Spitting flow, you know, spitting fire in the studio booth. That's where I get that dragon of spitting fire in the studio booth and all that stuff like that. That's spitting. So when I say choke, I spit these words all over these folks. Spit these words all over these folks. And the words, because they was coming out too fast, people couldn't process what I was saying. And then sometimes I started getting like that. And they're like, what you saying? What you saying? And how I would roll my tongue a little bit whenever I say, walk up in the class, I'm looking at the toe. When I sat up my desk, I ain't spoke to nobody because I'm about to choke, spit. Like, that's the flow, but the cadence and the way I pronounce my words and stuff like that, that's basically how I did it. And I wanted to roll off my tongue. I didn't want it to just say, walk up in the class, looking ahead from toe. Because I was taught with my uncle, he said, stop putting all those these, and like, because it's hard to make a rapper, a writer, a rapper, a poet, a rapper, because you want to use all these words, but in rap, you got to shorten those words. So, for example, when I did my warm-up, or when I did my, what is it called, dang it? When I did my mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check. That the streets. That was the first one. And when I did it first, I say, the streets are hot, but the flow is so icy. When I speak these words, yeah, I make it so spicy. I put the. You didn't get that part. The, and I did it again, which I should have just put streets, because the take a lot of breath. The, you know. Is you know, those take a lot of breath. So that's why when you say you do it, you make sure you take out those extra fluffy words, you know, like, you know, I don't remember exactly how you told me. That's why I want him to tell you. But and I was like, streets are hot, but the flow is so icy. When I speak these words, yeah, I make it so spicy. Hot like my body, I'm so fresh, so icy. Bad dreams like I scream, I mean I'm nicey. Now with that part, bad dreams like I scream, I mean I'm nicey. It was never that. It was nice dreams like ice cream. I mean, I'm nicey. But then I was like, I gotta be realistic. Because if you think about it, ice cream, look, say it with me. I scream, ice cream. Nice dreams like ice. Say it fast. Nice dreams like ice cream. Nice dreams like ice cream. Nice dreams like ice cream. That's why would I be screaming a nice dream? But it's ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Like ice cream. But it sounds like ice cream. So that's when I was like, aha. And we talked about it, and it was like bad dreams like ice cream. I mean, I'm nicey. I wanted to be ice cream because I love ice cream. So that's what that, you know, that little, y'all never heard that one because that was from Wick, not Miss Slime Dime. But that's my favorite one. I used to always demo that one. And the one or the two, I'm making sure my little, what's the name, was still on my bike. I thought it had bumped off from that video shoot. My goodness. That was rough. The other one that's kind of geared towards Wick, trying to think, was, let me see if I can remember. When I'm doing that, I'm trying to go into my brain because I don't have it here with me. That's the way I remember it. I was talking about a lot of like outdoors. You say the streets are hot. What am I talking? I'm not talking about like, you know, crime. I'm talking about the streets are hot. Like it's burning up out here. That's what I was talking about. But most people would think like, what are you talking about the street? What you know about the street? You ain't street. You ain't about that life. But that's where that came from. So I was always talking about what I knew, the things that I look at throughout the day, what makes me happy or whatever, um, and bringing that dynamic from the streets are hot, but the flow is so icy. I know y'all remember the ice, the icy, when the flow is your flow is icy. When your flow is icy, you know what I'm saying? That was back in the day. When people used to say stuff like that. You always try to describe your flow. And it was very icy. It was cold. My flow was cold, man. And I wanted to have that dynamic hot and cold, and that's where it comes from. The other one, the other one that from Lick was, I have you hot than the sun's bake, even quick like the earthquake. Got you thinking what I'm linking my mind straight. Trying to get my flow right so it don't break. Take me to the classroom, I participate. Take me to the Crunks Club, no, I'm gonna shake, break it till I break it, yeah, all up in your face. Watch haters walk, watch haters talk. I don't care what they doing, cause I know they gonna stalk. If they talking smack, yeah, they talking smack. I'ma smack them on the neck and smack them on the back. It was like, I'm a child, y'all, come on. But I was describing things that was in my life, like, like have you hot than the sun's bake. Like I'm still talking about hot stuff, hot this, hot that, and I wanted that to be my weapon. My flow is what was my weapon. So that's where I go into. I smack you on the neck and smack you on the back. It's so funny. I can't stop laughing. And it's kind of funny because when I go back through that, I'm like, man, what was I talking about? But it was called Then I Crump to That. And I don't know, like it's just random person. I say, then I come up trade so y'all can get the back. Then I crump to that. And it was just, back in the day, it was a thing for people to cuss in their music, to seem like they are tough or whatever. And my uncle told me, he said, never as a woman cussing your lyrics, da, da, da. But I was so angry. People kept picking on me, and I was writing it down. And so I took what he said, and to this day, I don't really cuss in my music because I'm trying to respect his wishes and things like that. Now, it's kind of hard when you're really going through something and you want to portray emotion and things like that. And that is the biggest thing, is when you're trying to you're trying not to cuss, but sometimes it come out. Like you stub your toe, you gonna say what the like I don't like to cuss on my channels. I don't do any of that, and it's a filthy habit. But don't hold me to it, because if you stub your big toe now, or you step on something and like go right through your foot to the top of your bone, bruh, it's embedded there. You might get upset, but it's embedded there. But I try, like, as a personality, as a my leg's sore, y'all. I'm trying to stretch it. I'm sorry. As a personality, as somebody who's in entertainment, in my own world of entertainment, because I'm not famous, so I try to keep a lot of my lyrics and stuff. I try to keep them without any cuss words and things like that. That way, you'll get radio play from that, But they still do it or whatever. They'll still do it. Let me try this leg. Oh, buddy. I like my old school raps because it puts things in perspective. I perfected my craft as an artist through that, through trial and error. Through trial and error. So that's what I learned. I could write about things and still try to be myself in a way, but I wanted to paint a picture, not just, of me as a person, but just of my mind. And eventually I would release that one on YouTube, but it's not, it's not my beat or anything. But when I was doing open mic night, I literally had a whole bunch of promotional raps for open mic night, and I have some already on the channel. And I basically was coming up with stuff, but the one that I really like was Toxic. Don't quote me on that. I'm not saying I'm toxic and nothing like that with all this green on. It talks about your mind being toxic, like the words that come out of my mouth could be toxic in my raps and things like that, because it's painting a picture. It's giving somebody like a it's a flow. But when you're doing your flow, you got to be sick with it. You got to make people sick with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to really get out there and make people think. Like, I could probably remember a little bit of it, but it was like, I spit it so vicious, so toxic, with sit inside, get it, your brain is basic. My thoughts are reckless, let me discuss it, just face it. These words will have you stuff it up like a cup, like, like, it was like that. I can't remember it because I did rendition of it on my channel, and it had the dun 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 dun. I spit it so vicious, so toxic, with sit inside, get it, your brain is basic. My thoughts are reckless, let me discuss it, just face it. These words will have you twisted up in a cup, but you feeling stuck like a drug. Then it's popped in the cut, grind his minds, fried up, eat up Hannibal. Passing quick like cannibal. Can you handle it? Super quick chick, got your mind in the mix. Throw it up, lean back like a matrix. It was like, it was so fast, and it was like very, very, toxic. So with that, I basically told myself, okay, I can't use it because it got Mystical song on there, his music and things. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna happen. So I removed it. I was like, man, I was just like, if I got it from Shorts and then I did a rendition of it where it actually can be used and stuff like that, but be in sync, it would have been good. So, but when I say I spit it so vicious, so toxic, with sentence, I get it, your brain is basic. My thoughts are reckless, let me discuss it, just face it. These words will have you twisted up in your cup. What? Somebody was okay, I'm watching my surroundings. A lot of people around. I bring everybody to places that I'm chilling at. I tell you, like, come on, man. Anyway, I'll go again. I'm gonna do it slow. I spit it so vicious, so toxic, with sentence, I get it, your brain is basic. My thoughts are reckless, let me discuss it, just face it. These words will have you twisted up in a cup, feeling stuck like a jerk. Xanax popping in your cup, grind his minds, fried up, eat up Hannibal. Pouncing quick like a cannibal. Can you handle it? Super quick chick, got your mind in the mix. Slow it up, lean back like the Matrix. Pull it up, feedback, never toxic. And then it's passion in your chest, success, who's next? Like, I'm so exhausted, y'all. I'm so exhausted. I can't even get my flows right. But that's basically like the toxic one. And ooh, that wore me out. That ride, you'll see why I'm exhausted. I should have waited to do it, but I know I would have ran out of time if I would have tried to do it when I got done with this. So I should have saved all my energy for this. That tongue twister, I like to do that in my raps because I want to have that wow shock factor, and I like to paint a picture and descriptive picture of what I'm saying versus just saying it. So people keep like, wait, did she just say lean back like the Matrix? Or she just say she vicious and all this is like it's just a way to create drama in the music and stuff like that. So that's basically what that came from. That came from a lot, man. I used to go through and do a lot of this in my book. When I feel like I'm being watched, I kind of just clam up. As you see in the other video, I will clam up. And what I'm sorry, looking through things. I would write down stuff like when I would get like a flow or something. I'm just gonna go through it because I'm only human. I'm only human. I try stuff. So I got scribbles here. I got scribbles here of different like ways I would say things. But it's based off of like my love for like movies and thrillers and things like that, psychological thrillers, which is Misery, number one. You know, that was one of those movies. You know, everybody talks about Misery and Five Nights at Freddy's, security breach. You've seen that on my channel and stuff like that. Five Nights at Freddy's, it's coming. Five Nights at Freddy's and things like that. You know, just relatable stuff that people can catch on to what I'm saying instead of just doing stuff they're not familiar with. So I had wrote down this, and I never really put this out. When I say, now I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna rap it. Okay. Take a board between your legs, smack bam like Misery. What was I thinking? Now when I do the flow, say I was, you know, let's say I was at a rap battle. I'll be like, I take a board between your legs, smack bam like Misery. Like that's how I would do it. Take a board between your legs, smack bam like Misery. You see how the difference is? Like just the flow inflections and things like that, it matters. Smack bam like Misery. You know, it's literally like, what the crap are you doing? Like, I wrote it and I remember how I said it all those years ago. But I never used it. I'm not gonna, that's too harsh. I'm not gonna say that one. I'm just gonna scribble that one out. I was very animated. Like I was very animated, and when I did things. So now we're gonna go into some of the songs and things like that. And the things that, you know, kind of got me like, oh man, this is ridiculous. No, warning, I'm not a singer or nothing like that. I'm not. I had a melody and I was like, I'm gonna write this down. And I wrote it down and I called it Walled In. Walled In. Let's see if I remember. I get some water before I embarrass myself. But I don't care because, like I said, this is a content. This is content, okay? And yes, I could have made it wider and better or whatever. I might even change it, but I'm using I'm using my bicycle pedal to hold this phone up. So I mean, I improvise, and everything I say in my rap, like I'm doing it right now. I'm improvising. I got a brain full of tactics. So this one. This is very personal, it's very deep. And I could try to do it. I could try to go through these songs and try to say how I said it. And hopefully these will be released on my YouTube channel. in Love Songs Diary, but this one is definitely not part of Love Songs Diary. I'll tell you when everything's part of Love Songs Diary. So this one is called Walden. I don't even know if I can do this, y'all. I lost my voice and everything. I try to do it with pain. Got me feeling so trapped in. Body buried in this black pen. Quickly sinking in this murky, dirty quicksand. 4 hours into feeling wild in. And it goes again. See if I can do that better. Got me feeling so trapped in. Body buried in this black pen. Quickly sinking in this murky, dirty quicksand. 4 hours into feeling wild in. Now I wanted to have like a it was based off this movie I seen called, I think it was like Walled In or something like that. And you'll notice this is kind of the same thing with Dead Silence, because that's based off the movie Dead Silence, but kind of with a twist with it. Got me feeling so trapped in. Body buried in this black pen. Quickly sinking in this murky, dirty quicksand. So like in the movie, they buried these people inside the walls to build this hotel, I think it was. Spirits and things, or they put them in the wall. And I know in China wall it's like a lot of devastation with that, but it's like I'm not in all of, gonna discuss all of that, but it's like the movie was wow, like it's very psychological thriller, and that's where I got that from. Sometimes you can feel trapped in, like my personality was trapped in. Miss Lime Dime was trapped in. Buried in murky, dirty quicksand, that's basically cement, you just feel like you're falling and stuff like that, and you're in cement, you're being entombed. I used to say entombed. I didn't know how to say it when I was at that age, but it was entombed, feeling walled in. So I think I remember how this goes as a rap, but I'll try, because like I said, this is old, very old, unused material. So this one, verse 1, I kind of scribbled over it. Got me feeling suffocated in this life I'm in. Steady watching all these thoughts in this life of sin. Trapped in an abyss full of thorns, nails, spikes, and pins. I feel like OJ in a metal pen without the gin. These thoughts are overpowered and they bound to bust. People forever calling me coward cause I never trust. Open jaws, mouths are always bound to fuss. Thoughts like caterpillar out the cocoon, starting brand new life in this world of doom. Then it goes back. Got me feeling so trapped in. Body buried in this black pen. Quickly sinking in this murky, dirty quicksand. 4 hours into feeling wild in. Okay, so that one never went anywhere. I just was like, okay, what am I talking about? Why am I saying this? But it's a lot of deepness in this. And this is when I was like, okay, I can write about this stuff. You're feeling suffocated in this life I'm in. Steady watching all these faults in this life of sin. So you see all of this stuff happening right now, which is crazy. Like so much going on in this world that you really want to be trapped in. It's crazy out here. That's why I'm over here a little paranoid. It's crazy. Trapped in an abyss full of thorns, nails, spikes, and pins. Just think about that. You down low into an abyss, but you can't get out. You got all this stuff just hurting you, like thorns, nails, spikes, and pins. I feel like OJ in a metal pen without the gin. I don't know where I was going with that. I was just trying to I don't know what I was doing. I said orange juice at first. I scribbled it. I put OJ. I'm like, what am I thinking? These thoughts are overpowered and they're bound to bust. My mind is just constantly going, just all the time. And sometimes I feel like it's about to boom, like if my brain get too big, it's gonna pow, That's where I got that from. People forever calling me coward because I never trust. That's deep. Just because you don't want to be around someone or whatever, it's because of trust. I'm scribbling this because I'm thinking like, okay, people forever calling me coward because I don't really. I walk the other way. I'm sorry, but I do, because confrontation is, I don't trust it. I don't trust people because like I said in my previous video, being used, I can read people. So that's where that comes from. Open jaws and mouths are always bound to fuss. So people who talk and talk and talk and talk, like, like chauvinistic or whatever you call that, they're always bound to fuss. Like, some people just, they got to fuss about things. Thoughts like caterpillar out the cocoon. Butterfly. Did you catch it? Butterfly. Now, everywhere I've walked, don't walk a mile in my shoes, it seemed like that yellow butterfly always was there, following me, flying around. My thoughts are trapped in this caterpillar cocoon, right? But I'm saying out the cocoon. So I'm saying I'm a butterfly. So, like, I'm a butterfly. So one day I'm destined to fly, So this is basically kind of like old material, but I'm going through it. I'm showing you, showing you this stuff. Starting brand new life in a world of doom. So this is where the fame comes in. Okay, I'm scribbling it down. Explanation, so I don't try to change the words up. This is where the fame comes in. You're starting a brand new life in a world of dooms. People see you, your talent, or they see that you're this and that, but then they're like, oh, I can get you to do things that, to make you famous. No, you out your mind? That's not gonna happen. So starting a brand new life in a world of doom. So I'm a brand new life is me as an artist, like, coming out of my shell. So that's kind of like a cocoon, for instance. In this world of doom, it's just so much going on. I'm not gonna get into all that mess that's in the industry. I'm just like, if I could just make songs all my life and not have to worry about the fame part, I'll be fine. As long as I'm, getting the royalties and things like that, I'm good. But the fame part is rough, because like I said, it's in my previous video. Do you have a support system? I don't know. So, broken love line. This could go with Love Songs Diary. So what I'm gonna do with that is, since we run out of time on this one, we talked about Wick and things like that, we talked about some deep stuff. This is just the beginning, but I wanted to touch on that, like that song Walled In, because I've been like to myself and just kind of walled in, and that kind of goes along with everybody, COVID situation, everybody was walled in and felt trapped because they couldn't go out, because they risked their lives to go out, things like that. So now we actually getting out here again, and so we feel like we have a brand new life, that we're gonna treat time as if it's not free. We're literally gonna use our time wisely now that we know that this could happen, and it could take away the freedoms that we had, all the stuff that we've been through 2020 and stuff. So, but if you're still here watching me, thank you. I appreciate it. It's just I did this at the wrong time, because I'm exhausted. You'll see why with that video. And lost my voice and stuff, but I really want to get these out. I want you to see the crackles and everything like that. Y'all just see it, so that y'all can understand who I am as a person, and how I and my mindset whenever I make music, and just little laughs here and there, and he's just chilling with me, and I may change it up where it's, the camera or whatever. I may change it up where you can see a more wider view or whatever, so you can see everything I'm doing. Maybe it just depends. But thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And this is Miss Slime Dive. Don't forget it. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll get an outro eventually, because I already got one for my gaming channel, but I'm gonna get an outro. Don't worry. Don't worry, because we have a boatload of stuff coming, a lot of stuff. Okay, so stay tuned. Bye.